And now, back to PTR Radio.
I made a little list of some of the things that you discuss. Bestiality, abortion, AIDS, Irishmen who drink, nuns, premature ejaculation, breastfeeding, and farts.
This is PTR Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Should be a good night. I hope.
Yes, I still have something to be proud of.
Okay.
Yeah. How many years have we been doing this?
Oh, a lot. I think it's 15 plus.
Yes, but a lot of that list of things you have from that clip. We've never actually discussed.
Well,
I think that's something to be proud of.
I don't know. We haven't talked about them regularly. Let's put it that way. All right.
I don't know if I've ever actually listened. Oh, I know bestiality and abortion, AIDS. Usually, that's the only part that I kind of zone in on, and the rest I'm kind of just like. I don't know. I just know that's it's like my cue to okay. Here we go.
Well, farts we've definitely talked about.
What?
100%.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yes.
Recently, even. Mm-hmm. So.
Yes, that's true.
Welcome everybody. And tonight we've got all the socials on. So at PTR Radio on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all the fun stuff. And you can get in touch with the show, 217-787-0232. That is 217-787-0232. Get in touch with the show tonight. Don't pay attention to any of the 877 numbers that may be out there. We just haven't updated those graphics in a very long time. Pay attention to the number, which is on your screen now. So I looked because I'm like, where's the number at? I'm like, oh, okay, it's on Facebook. I can type it from there. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, that's the wrong one, too. So I guess I got a lot of graphics I got to fix.
Okay.
Well, that's how long it's been since the phone number's been working. So, but it's working now, so that's good. Now, Mike, you had your mask on earlier. Is there a reason? Do we got an outbreak?
Oh no! It was just because I just got it in the mail today from Nightingale Masks.
Oh, okay.
Or Nightingale Designs, I'm sorry.
All right.
So I was kind of showing it off.
All right, I was going to say, because it's we don't normally talk about COVID, but I will say that it hit close to home. My daughter's boyfriend has it, and so we had to make an emergency run of chicken soup and chicken and noodles. So, the true cure. That's what... so we had to do that, and then I've had people at work that were out for it, so I was just curious. But anyway, so moving along, we have lots to talk about this evening. In fact, for those of you that are new to the show, the last half hour of the show is dedicated to our double feature movie review. So if you want to know if a movie is worth watching or not, we have two that we're going to be discussing at the end of the show that you might be interested in, or maybe not. We'll let you know.
Oh, well, let's just say if you're interested in both of them, there are programs out there for you, and we will get you help.
Like Alcoholics Anonymous,
Something, man.
Mm-hmm. There's an Anon for you if you like both of these movies.
And we're not talking Q Anon.
No, we're not. But we got a full white sheet tonight. And, it's all good stuff, but maybe since we are so close, Christmas was just a month or so ago, we should talk about this first. Tim Allen, recent news came out that he is looking to headline a sequel to the Santa Claus. Now, there's already been 2 sequels to the Santa Claus. It's already been a trilogy.
Yeah, but this one is the logical continuation of that trilogy because it's going to be a series of him trying to find a suitable replacement. He is going to retire as Santa.
But Santa doesn't retire. Santa falls off the roof, and then the poor schlub who distracted him puts on the suit by accident.
Well,
that was the whole theme of the show, and then bumbles his way through it.
But that is the Santa Claus of being Santa. However, there's a whole list, because there's the Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
There's the escape clause.
Yes.
So now there's got to be a passing the torch clause.
A pension clause? A retirement clause? That's what you're saying? So,
yes.
So this
this isn't something stupid like,
succession
okay, we
clause.
need to... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. It just dawned on me.
What?
They're going to...
Bring back Steve
They're going to
Martin.
They're going to make Willow Smith the next Santa Claus.
I thought you were going to say they're going to make Loki the next Santa Claus, and that was going to be somewhat interesting.
Oh.
But
no, they're going. It's Disney, okay? They're going to appeal to the masses, and they're going to. It's either going to be Willow Smith, or it's going to be Lupita Nyong'o, or it's going to be Amy from Jeopardy.
It's going to be Amy Farrah Fowler is the new.
No, not that
Santa
Amy.
Claus.
The champion Amy.
Oh, the new champion.
It's gonna be some. I don't know. I pray that they don't put too much appeasement. Is that a good word into this? Like, just pick somebody that would make a good Santa Claus. All right, Santa Claus kind of has specific requirements. Bowl full of jelly, big white beard. No female is going to want to be walking around with a big white beard.
Kurt Russell. He's already playing the part.
Yeah, but Netflix ain't going to let him go.
Okay, Drew Carey. He had the look. Before, I mean, I noticed recently he trimmed up his beard.
He's too old.
But he's looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah, but he's too old. I mean, the whole idea is to get somebody to replace Tim Allen. He's too old.
He would open strip clubs in the North Pole. But
he would.
Yeah. I don't know.
Honestly, I mean, I'll just say of the original movies, the first one was good. The second one, changed genres, so that worked out. The third one was trash.
The third one was just Martin Short playing Martin Short.
Well, yeah. Okay. The third one was the escape clause. Yeah.
Yeah. It was dumb. Supremely stupid. That they should have just called that Santa Claus the money grab.
Listen,
that's all it was.
The third one, I would say Fred Claus was better than the third Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And Fred Claus was not that great. Fred Claus was borderline a movie we would review. I mean,
I haven't seen that movie, so maybe come next
Really?
Christmas. Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Of course, I'm also one of those people that have not watched Elf all the way through. Because I just can't stand that level of stupidity. That's just Will Ferrell bumping it up to 12, and I can't handle that.
Yeah. And while we're talking about Christmas, another one came out today that Ralphie, a.k.a. Peter Billingsley in real life, is actually writing and directing a sequel to A Christmas Story where he plays Ralphie again. So this is in the same vein as like Roseanne and all, where they pick up X years later and tell the story.
See, and they've already had a sequel to
They did
Christmas
not
Story.
have a sequel.
They
No,
did.
They did not.
They did have
No,
a
they
sequel,
didn't.
and Neil Patrick Harris starred in
didn't.
it, and it was
No,
called
they
8-Bit
didn't.
Christmas.
That was not a sequel. You bite your tongue. They had
was a sequel.
that was horrible with
was-
Randy Quaid.
It was the
was
same
terrible.
movie.
No, it was not. Just because somebody says that, oh, this is a modern day sequel to a Christmas. No, well, that would be like me saying PTR Radio is a modern day sequel to It's a Wonderful Life. It don't make it true.
No.
Okay?
Besides, the Randy Quaid sequel, Christmas, was Christmas Vacation 2, which was horrible. All right. And that,
Okay,
I'll
you're
admit,
right.
that
You're
was
right. Okay.
horrendous.
You are right.
Yeah.
You are correct. No, but apparently I
More
thought
to the point, it doesn't
it said
exist.
I thought it said that there was that somebody did a sequel.
Yes,
Well, I guess
the
not.
original
Okay.
Christmas Story had 2 sequels,
Okay.
which are they're not.
That makes it a Christmas novel, not a Christmas story.
Well, they had nothing to do with Christmas. They were just other tales.
Was it like
from,
an Easter story? And a Thanksgiving trope? Is that what they called it?
Oh, okay. So I do. Now that I'm reading this, I do have a couple of issues with it. One, it takes place in the 70s, where
would have to.
Okay. Two.
We can all agree the 70s were horrible. Just look at the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Two.
The problem is the original movie was 1940.
Well, that would be a lot older.
Okay. Yeah. They're shooting in Hungary.
That means they have no money, and this is a Kickstarter.
No,
I
it's
can't think of any
not.
other reason to film there.
Warner Brothers and
because
Legendary are
Hungary
back
can
in the
still look
production.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I also
Hungary can
think
still
that,
look like 1970s U.S. They're that far behind.
Why don't they just film in Cuba?
Well,
then they can film
Nobody
in the 50s.
can film in Cuba.
I guess the other question is, are there different COVID restrictions that would make this easier if they film in Hungary? I don't know. That's a possibility. I mean,
Hungary's still dealing with polio. They don't know what COVID is yet. They're that far behind.
He said polio.
So anyway,
look,
I wouldn't do it. This is in the line of the sequels that don't need to be made. We've said it before. There are sequels that don't need to be made, and then there are sequels that need to be made, like Iron Sky 3: Nazis from Mars needs to be completed so that the trilogy is complete.
Do not play with my emotions. Is this a real thing, or are you making? Is this a Shaggyism? You're making this up.
No, what?
Don't play with my emotions because my nipples just twitched a little bit.
No, they were supposed
Iron
to
Sky
make,
3? Seriously?
There was supposed to be an Iron Sky 3 called The Ark. It was presented to the Chinese market, and it was supposed to have a bigger budget than even the first two, but it never went anywhere. It sucked. We never got The Ark. Iron Sky: The Ark.
Ark, an Iron Sky story. Okay, let's look at this here.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, this is just going
It was
completely
supposed to have Andy
sideways.
Garcia.
Okay, yeah, all right. A pair of audio files try to decode a mysterious message received from the moon, but find themselves up against the Illuminati.
Hey.
Guys, look, I'm all about stupidity when it comes to movies like this, but this is too stupid for even my taste. There ain't enough alcohol in this house to get me to watch this movie.
We said the same
thing. The Illuminati? Really?
We said the same thing about Iron Sky and Iron Sky: The Coming Race. And look at how much we enjoyed those movies.
I never said that about Iron Sky. I thought Iron Sky was going to be genius, unappreciated art. Iron Sky: The Coming Race, the only thing that drew me in was Sarah Palin riding a T-Rex in the trailer. I said, okay, this is going to be loopy. This could be done with some booze, no doubt. When instead of Nazis, they go against the Illuminati, y'all might as well just Epstein yourself before you release this thing, because the Illuminati will get you.
Evidently, there was a 2-minute show produced from 2019 called Iron Sky: Donald Trump Finds Out. I kind of want to see that now. It says, this leaked video shows Donald Trump dealing with the real reason why he wants to build a wall to keep out unwanted illegal aliens. But what type of aliens are we talking about? Perhaps not the Mexican kind.
Let's just stop giving him attention, please. Any kind of attention.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to other things.
All right. So I did a couple of things since last show.
Okay. Anything illegal?
No.
Oh.
Well, the first one was my wife and I adopted another dog, and I'm seeing if I can find the picture real quick. His name is Tucker. He is a Bichon, and he is a puppy mill survivor. So this is an interesting. When we get done with this story, remind me. Can we talk about Wordle real quick? Because
I don't know what the hell it is.
For...
So yeah, I got no problems talking about Wordle.
Where the hell? Okay. I guess I got to go to my wife's page to find a picture. Anyway, while I'm looking for this, so I have never had a dog in the house that did not want any kind of human affection, like was not craving.
Here we go.
Okay, so from left to right, you have Evie, Tyson, and the little white one is Tucker. He's coming around. He plays with the other dogs, but he's very scared, and it's because the only time he ever got touched was when they moved him from one cage to another for breeding purposes. That's it. Otherwise, he was just there, and they were done with him, so this rescue came in, scooped him up, and now he is in our home. The other thing I did is I got rid of my truck.
What?
This one is not public knowledge. My Explorer is gone.
Oh, no.
And I now have a... Well, let me see. I think I have...
Geo Metro.
No.
Did you somehow find a Suzuki Sidekick?
Mazda Miata.
No, I tried.
Yeah, a Mazda Miata or a maybe a Sunfire, Pontiac Sunfire.
Let me see if I can do this easily. No,
some type of
Slack?
one type of Subaru. Is that what you got?
Mm-mm.
Yep, I got it.
I said I'm tired of this little vehicle, and well, I upsized. And
yeah,
I'm now
sure seems like you did.
I'm a proud owner of a 2018 Ford Expedition.
Mm-hmm.
That my father-in-law, when he saw this picture, has called it the silver bullet, and I'm like, no, it's not quick.
No,
it goes, but it's not exactly a bullet.
No. It's definitely measured in gallons per mile, probably.
Around town, about 17 and a half, 18, and that's with me testing the limits of like how fast it will go. But yeah, that kind of just happened. I emailed them and said, look, I know used car inventories are tight. 6 months till the end of my lease, so I'm starting to look now. This is these are the boxes I need checked. They said, oh, well, we have this one. When can you come in to look at it? Huh? I emailed Kim. She said, go now. Okay. And, yeah, that happened Thursday? Yeah, Thursday night.
No Escalades were available, is what you're saying?
No Escalades. I needed something a little more utility-wise. An Escalade is GM.
And no Conquest Knights were available?
I needed... You know what I needed? I actually was looking for an Excursion.
Here's
which is the one that's about the size of...
Should have gotten that. Look at that, Mike.
What am I, The Rock?
That is some big D energy right there.
Isn't that... No, seriously, isn't that what The Rock drove in like the first Fast and Furious?
I have no idea. It is called the Conquest Knight 15.
That's like it's $800,000 vehicle.
It's a flagship SUV
glass.
featuring full armor plating.
Yes.
It's ultra luxurious with a V10 and 326 horsepower. It weighs 6 tons.
A V10 with 326 horsepower? I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that the Mama Blair's Flex puts out more than that. How does that have 300? What?
Ooh, you should have.
Unless it's got like 9,000 foot-pounds of torque. No, something ain't right.
Yeah. Here we go. This one. I mean, you're entering midlife. This is what you need. A Maybach.
The dogs will fit in that. Yeah. But my hockey bag will fit in that. Okay, I would just like to point out, right in that little back window there.
Yeah.
You see right there. That's the driver's seat.
Yeah. There's no back seat. There's no back seat.
There's no back seat. There's no trunk. Not even close.
No, you don't need a back seat. Everything happens in the front there. So, no.
I got to see, because there was one that, now I was actually, did we lose Colin? What happened?
I think Colin got pulled away.
Okay. There was like a truck, an SUV that was based off of what is it, like a tractor trailer, and that thing was like ridiculous.
Yep. They usually use those for bigger Class C campers.
Yep.
Like this thing actually had air brakes, and you needed a damn CDL to drive it.
Oh, you could have gotten a Jeep Gladiator. Gone back to your Jeep roots.
Nope. 'Cause here's my problem with the Jeep, even the Jeep Grand Cherokee L and the Wagoneer. The back window doesn't open independent from the hatch. That's a problem for me. That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid.
Mike, there's a new convertible Hummer that you could have had. It's a T-top Hummer. Doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
And it's a half truck at that. I mean, that just sounds cool.
So, going back one step to
look at this, Mike.
New stuff there, Mike.
Don't you need that? You need that in your life.
Maybe.
So Mike, new Bichon. Yeah, I temporarily have two Bichons in the house. So this could have been the Bichon episode.
I think Mama Blair actually mentioned that when we posted the announcement that Kenna has. You're babysitting for Kenna? Yeah. And I'm sorry if I just pissed off half of our audience by saying babysitting instead of pet sitting.
But
hello, Teresa. Your message wasn't coming through on. Didn't come through on the vMix.
It didn't? That's weird.
No.
Oh, hold on. I wonder why. Oh, because did she? I wonder if she came in through Twitter. Twitter's being odd.
No, it came in through Facebook.
Huh. That's weird.
So I apologize for not seeing it until now. I just happened to check the feed and said hello.
Okay. Oh, let me see here. All right, there we go.
He's broken. He's broken.
Yep. All right. So now maybe. Who knows? I don't know. So anyway, I mean, we have gotten them in through YouTube already. So, but yeah. That's weird. But yeah, no. New dogs are cool. New trucks are cool. All this stuff sounds fun.
And when we adopted the dog, somehow I got sucked in. What's that?
Had you had a dog with hair before?
Yeah, we had a husky.
I don't think you get much more hair than that.
And we did have a Bichon mix before we adopted Evie. We only had her for 4 months, and she passed away. But so yeah, Kim's already talking to our friend who's our groomer, talking about what are we going to do now that we have a fluffy dog. I'm like, oh God. I said, you're not painting his toenails. You're not putting colors in his fur. That's not happening. I said, for Halloween, we're getting him gold chains and we're giving him a mohawk, and he's going to be Mr. T. That's it.
Yep, that's the answer. It's the only acceptable answer, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to close that and reopen it. See if that fixes it. So, but yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do. And
what I was starting to say was, while we're there filling out all the paperwork and adopting, they're having a fundraiser April 4th, I think, and it didn't dawn on me. I thought there were raffle tickets that she was handing my wife to try and sell. I'm like, no, those are actually admission tickets. And I'm half listening because I'm filling out the paperwork, and I hear, oh, we have an event, we're planning it. I said, do you have a DJ? Well, somehow now I'm an auctioneer.
Oh, you need to go to auctioneering school. We talked about that already.
They're auctioning off paintings donated by local artists and some paintings that were painted by the rescue puppies.
The dogs painted things?
And by paint them, I mean they walked around in paint on a canvas.
I mean, I can see where some people call that art. I am not one of those people, but
Nor am I.
See where some people call that art.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to doing this auction thing. I did not know that was part of the deal. But
Yeah.
I've got a couple of months to try and figure it out.
Yeah. To figure out how to weasel your way out of it, you mean?
Figure out how to be an auctioneer. Is there an app for it maybe that I can learn? I don't know.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, there's an auctioneering app. If not, Colin can make you one. I think that'd be great, Colin. Make an auction app. I think it's called eBay. Oh, but anyway, yeah.
I found the guide to how to become an auctioneer. It is the most granular steps I've ever seen. Like, step 1, go to high school. Step 2, attend auctions.
Let me see.
Hey,
here.
Step 5 is working charity gigs. So you already jumped to step 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. You're jumping ahead. I don't know that that's a good idea. Don't jump ahead. Don't skip things.
What can I tell you?
Oh, all right.
Well, let's just move on. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it via Facebook.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why it's not.
Oh, it's all right.
It's working for. It looked like it was working for Twitch and some other stuff, but I don't know. All right. Next up. So this is a serious discussion. We talked about, I think on the last show, or maybe it was between, I can't remember, but Betty White passed away, unfortunately. We all know about that. And the, I think Mike's even posted about the fundraiser in Betty's honor to raise money for animals, which has far exceeded expectations and has been going well. But then we also lost Bob Saget. Now, Betty was kind of known as America's grandma, or at least that's how I typically referred to her. And then Bob Saget was America's dad, right? I mean, because a lot of Americans grew up with him from Full House. So naturally, the question is, all right, we've lost 2 unofficial relatives. So who should take their place? Who is still living and still with us? Because we have at least these 2 relative spots. Plus, I haven't necessarily thought about things like who's America's quirky uncle? Or who's America's uncle you don't want to go over to their house and visit them. So if you have, the answers to those questions, we want you to, chime in on the social media channel of your choice, and, we'll be taking those under suggestion, and then we'll be giving some of our own. So if you know who America's dad, grandma, sister, or older, younger brother, whatever it is who you would recommend, we want to hear your thoughts while we give some of our own. So Colin, let's start off with you. You have an opinion on this.
I do, but I had Betty White under a much larger category than just America's grandmother. Or she was just the old comedian that everybody liked and kept going. It wasn't just that she was grandma. She's not. Technically, she never had kids, so she's not a grandmother anyway.
She's America's grandma. She isn't like Jack's grandma. She's America's grandma.
But so I was putting her more into that category of just the old. I mean, I guess old is but just.
She was 99. So she was old. All right, we won't split hairs there.
But I just. So the one I'm saying is taking over her slot now. Is not a woman, which is my point here.
Okay, so you are having us have America's transvestite grandma. All right, go ahead. We'll take this one.
I'm just saying, the new king of the heap now, in my opinion, is Bob Newhart.
So Bob Newhart is America's new cross-dressing grandmother. All right, that goes along with Bob.
Okay, so my issue, or the only reason I'm not jumping behind this one, Colin, is I don't think Bob Newhart is still like actively acting. Betty White was.
Oh no!
Up until
Bob Newhart is actively active.
Is he really? Well, actively active, yeah.
And sharp as a tack too.
Well, I mean, he was on Big Bang Theory for a little bit. He had done some stuff with like, the librarians and things like that. But
they're coming through now. So, maybe America's auntie. Yeah, I could see that because Betty kept current. Betty was in her later years was still in the limelight a lot more than I feel like Bob Newhart is. Like ever since Big Bang went off the air, that's the last time I remember seeing him when he was playing Professor Proton, and even on there, the character died. So is he still active? He probably is. I'm just saying he's not.
He's been doing lots of. He was doing a special on Audible where he was going around and interviewing, like doing his own car, comedians in cars getting coffee. He was doing his own version of Audible. I've seen him multiple times recently doing the talk show circuit.
Okay. So like Mama Blair said, so Betty kept current. She thinks she was more like America's aunt than grandma. Well, my replacement for America's grandma is kind of the same way. Is she would either be an aunt or a really cool grandma. All right. Dolly Parton.
Yeah, right. I think I can buy that.
I mean, because she's older, she's definitely still active, still recognizable, still beloved by millions, and like Teflon, right? Nothing can stick to her. She could throw a baby down a set of stairs, and people would go, "Oh, that baby probably spit in her face and deserved it." That's how Dolly Parton is, right?
All right, so I can get behind Dolly Parton. Yeah, I was struggling because I was looking at it more as, all right. So with Bob Saget, Saget was we're saying he was America's dad because he was a father on a show that we all grew up watching, that being Full House. So I was looking at it as who is on a show that could be America's dad now. Like one could argue that Bill Cosby was America's dad until all the crap went down and he was kicked off the throne, and then
he
Bob
actually
Saget kind of.
I think he actually held that title for a long time. of America's kooky sweater-wearing dad who just happened to drug and abuse women.
Which, by the way, side note, there's this thing coming out on Hulu, I think. I think it's called We Have to Talk About Cosby or something. And they make some creepy connections. Like, he was doing all of this stuff to women, and what he could have been any kind of doctor, but what was he? An OBGYN.
I thought he was a psychologist.
No.
He had an office in the house.
No, he delivered babies, dude.
But he had an office in the basement.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see no stirrups when they shot places.
Whatever. Anyway,
that was
not the point. Not the point. Not the point. Discussion for later. Not the
all
point.
right. Yeah.
So I started thinking about who is on a TV show, and the only one I could come up with was Dan from
Roseanne.
Yeah.
So is damn it. Yeah.
I'm throwing a blank on his name. That's why I called him Dan.
Is King Ralph America's dad?
Goodman.
John Goodman, yeah.
John Goodman.
I don't know. I was honestly thinking Tom Hanks. Because he's wholesome, he's everywhere.
Tom Hanks,
everybody loves him.
He's
played dads in movies.
I don't know. He's more America's movie dad.
But it's just the title is just America's Dad. It's not like necessarily America's TV dad, but it's just America's dad.
All right. Okay. I mean, I could see that possibly. I'd always looked at him as more like the mayor.
Oh, you think he's the mayor of America's town?
Yeah, like
of
between him and Matthew, I want to see Hanks McConaughey as the next presidential ticket. I mean, come on now.
Matthew McConaughey is the weird uncle. All right, he is the
true.
uncle that brings pot to the family get together, and that hangs out behind the shed. So Mama Blair says Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda's in here somewhere. She's not America's grandma, but she's probably America's in-lawed aunt, right? She married one of the brothers or something, right?
I was going to say she's like the nanny or aerobics instructor.
Oh, so she's somebody that one of the family members had an affair with, is what you're saying?
Not officially.
Not officially. So she's America's side hustle. Side hussy is what you're saying.
Bad piece, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She's cheated on America a couple of times.
She's America's baby mama, is what you're saying, basically. All right. Because I was.
You know what? Actually, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think Tom Hanks is probably a good, viable replacement, or worthy of the title.
Yeah. See, there was a question about would it be Eddie Murphy? It can't be. I'm sorry, it can't be Eddie Murphy. I don't believe it can be Eddie Murphy, and it has nothing to do with what people think. It's just because Eddie Murphy runs so hot and cold.
Oh, Eddie Murphy has his own category, and that is Eddie Murphy.
Well, I mean, Eddie Murphy is the cool cousin. All right, he's the one that everybody wants to hang around. He's the one that has the boat. It always has the chicks around, and that people want to hang with. But he's also the one that loses his temper.
What about Bill Murray?
Well, it used to be cool, but isn't quite so cool anymore.
Bill Murray is a cousin. All right,
uncle.
Uncle. Okay, well, we got a lot of uncles in the family.
Definitely an uncle.
Bill Murray is an uncle who was great, but now he shows up in June and puts out your Christmas ornaments. Just to be a dick. All right? That's what he
Bill
does.
Murray?
Bill Murray. Yeah.
Are you confusing him with Chevy Chase?
No, I think sometimes they work together. They were twins. They were America's,
I think Bill Murray is
twins.
that uncle that you hope comes to the family reunion because he's got all the good stories, and you hope he brings his partner in life, Dan Aykroyd, who not only has the cool stories to back up Uncle Bill, but also brings the booze.
No.
Yes.
Uncle Dan Aykroyd is the one that the rest of the family doesn't talk about, who says he lives in New Mexico and we'll never see him at the reunion.
That's Uncle Randy, who's on the run from the drug lords in Guatemala because they want to shoot him. So now he lives in Canada.
Okay, but
Yes.
the other...
In a van down by the river.
No, but the other one believes in aliens.
Yeah, that's right.
And we can't have that either.
Dan Aykroyd is the uncle where you tell if you have your son or daughter and they're a little weird, you go to them and you say, okay, you say Uncle Dan over there. Be like Uncle Dan.
No, don't be like Uncle
Just
Dan.
don't go the full Randy.
Don't go the full Randy. Never has it been said.
Never go the full Randy.
Never go the full Randy. I should have waited
Whether
to name
it's
this
Randy
episode.
Quaid, Randy Watson,
Randy Newman.
Never go the full Randy. What about we got? All right, so we've talked down the male side. I don't know. Are there any alternatives to Dolly Parton though?
Yes. So it's funny enough. In 2019, Ranker did a listing of who they thought America's grandmother should be. So obviously Betty White is in here, but the crazy part is Betty White didn't win. You want to know who the Ranker people said should be America's grandma?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Tina Turner.
Yes.
Tina Turner.
But here's the thing. Do you see how many votes Tina Turner got?
Well, I mean,
She got a huge number, 153 votes.
Betty White got 152. She won by 1.
Yeah, I'm just okay. You know what? All you have to do is push the little arrow, and now they're tied.
Well, no, I can't because Betty's gone. The other one, and she's still around.
On the webpage.
I looked. Angela Lansbury came in third. Now,
Okay.
Angela Lansbury is not American. She was born in the United Kingdom.
Yes,
So
but she uses an American accent most of the time.
I have a problem with non-Americans being America's grandma. All right.
Fair enough. That would be like Arnold Schwarzenegger being America's anything. Yeah.
No. Arnold Schwarzenegger can be like, it can be like the aunt who went on 90 Day Fiancé, and got somebody from another country, her husband. All right. But that's it. That's all Arnold Schwarzenegger can be. The next one, number 5, Julie Andrews. Again, not American.
Well, you did.
I skipped over Dolly Parton, who was number 4. So Julie Andrews, number 5.
It isn't going a lot of British people in a row.
Yeah, Judi Dench.
But then it is going to a lot of British people in a row.
Judi Dench, also from the UK. Maggie Smith, also from the UK. Finally, back to an American, Carol Burnett, who's another kooky aunt.
Oh, yeah.
I love Carol Burnett and the little ear thing. I'm good with that, right? Back to the UK again, because evidently America can't have American relatives. Helen Mirren. Bette Midler. I'm not having Bette Midler in my family at all.
No.
I will become adopted by somebody else. All right, I will run away if Bette Midler's in my family.
You might as listen. I would just as soon have Fran Drescher before Bette Midler. Because it would make me want to just rip my ears out.
Yeah.
I will say that.
God forbid if America had lesbian parents.
Of my family hunting you down.
What? What? Why? What?
Colin's parents love Fran Drescher. That's what he was saying. And so you're in trouble.
No.
I respect her as an actress, but damn it, I couldn't live with her because I just want either I'd want her to talk like the nanny and she wouldn't, or she's going to be talking like the nanny and I'm going to want to kill myself.
We're still at Bette Midler, not Fran Drescher. I have no idea how we got to Fran Drescher.
I said that I would rather live with Fran Drescher than Bette Midler. Bette Midler is just too opinionated, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right. No,
far too opinionated.
Number 11, finally another American, Lily Tomlin, who is still around. Number 12.
She's still America's phone operator.
Lily Tomlin is not America's phone operator.
Yes. She will always be America's phone operator.
No, she'll be America's
Lily
secretary.
Tomlin is still around. Who am I thinking of that passed away? Who?
I don't know who you're thinking
Gilda
of.
Radner. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, Gilda.
I got her. I was confused with Gilda Radner. I apologize.
Barbara Walters was 12. Rita Moreno was 13. Gladys Knight was 14, which I would have never thought of Gladys Knight in them. Shirley MacLaine was 15. Again, I would have never thought of her.
No, she's always...
Martha Stewart. I don't know who Martha Stewart is in the family, but somebody's got to have that artsy, farty, fabric-crazed person.
Let me tell you. Listen. No, listen. Martha Stewart, based off of her current Martha Stewart, she could be my grandma. Okay, that's right. You call your faux schnizzle friend over there and come over hang out, grandma. Then we'd be cool.
The next one, Candace Bergen. Now, the only Candace that I want in America's family is Candace Cameron Bure. All right?
I don't even want her in the family.
No, she needs to be a stepsister.
Okay, no, fair enough. I'm very opinionated. The problem here, Mama Blair, is very simple. Bette Midler, okay, how about I put it this way? I cannot be related to and live in a house with a grandma who is on Twitter every other day oh, God.
That would be making The Rock America's older brother. All right? He would never stop telling you how much protein powder he had for breakfast. All right? That The Rock as an older America's older brother would be so annoying. That would be like Chris Tucker being America's younger brother and just screaming at the top of his lungs all the time.
Different Strokes Live really missed out on an opportunity by not casting Kevin Hart as or The Rock as Willis, to have The Rock and Kevin Hart as the brothers, because those two act like brothers in real life, like ripping into each other. I think they missed an opportunity on that, by the way. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, look, for the sake of the show, you're damn right I'm going to be opinionated. Because it does not make for good broadcasting if we all agree with each other all the time. I mean, hell.
Now I'm going to skip to the bottom of the list. Sometimes
I say stuff that I don't even agree with just because I know somebody's got to be devil's advocate in this thing. Go ahead.
That's right. So the last one on the list, and she deserves to be even further down the list in my opinion, Cher. So 19 people thought Cher should be America's grandmother. There ain't no way. Cher is America's crazy next door neighbor.
You're going to brush your teeth.
We just found another great impression that Mike does.
Still not as good as Helen Keller.
Now we're going to have to get a headdress for him.
Do you believe you're going to eat your meat? I don't think you'll get dessert until you finish your meat and vegetables.
Speaking of Mike, and moving on from America's family, Mike, I think you've been holding out on us. Because I don't think we talked about this before, but I found that you are a manufacturer of fine electronics.
Yes, I've been hoarding all the chips. Now you know.
I mean, I didn't know that you're making projectors, dash cams, DVD players, trail cams, projector, all kinds of stuff. I went on Newegg, and they were advertising 8-man electronics.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's, and reasonably priced too, Mike.
Well, look, I'm not trying to gouge everybody. I got all the chips, and nobody else is making stuff, so why not?
So it was just lowest price projectors too, So I was
some of the ratings look are not that great. Like I'm looking at that trail camera, and I'm like, 1 rating with 2 eggs out of 5. Yeah,
well, yeah, but you're obviously you're still a growing brand. So,
Listen, you go on Amazon and type in 8-man, and you'll find all of this stuff. I swear, like Kim asked me, how come I don't have any 8-man electronics, and I was like, 'cause it's the same stuff that somebody just slapped a name on there. I wish I was making money off of that. I really do. I wish I had trademarked the name 8-man a long time ago. Because I have no reason to, but I thought before I saw the link, I saw the message pop up on Slack on my phone. Before I saw the actual link and saw what you sent, I was like, "Oh God, he's actually making Bath and Booty Works happen." I'm like, "Oh God, he built that website already." Oh my God.
I haven't had time.
And I was afraid. I was 100% afraid to look because.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Bath and Booty Works. Or what was the other one you threatened to buy? No, you know what? I don't even remember. I don't care.
Oh, it was poo something.
All right. So we got another.
Yeah.
Got another one here, and I guess I was confused, but it popped up in my news feed. And Colin, you apparently knew more about this than I did. About Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al in a biopic, and immediately I'm like, this is something that everybody needs to know about because I have been pushing for Weird Al as a halftime show at the Super Bowl forever. Well, I'm a huge Weird Al fan. And
the last few years.
Daniel Radcliffe. I mean,
the last few years we've had quite a few, biopics, right? We had Rocket Man, we had Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm really surprised they haven't done one on like Def Leppard with the one-armed drummer or anything. I was looking for that. Looking for one on like Guns N' Roses. I'm sure that they're probably in the works. We just don't have them yet. So, yeah. Well, there was actually there was one on Aretha Franklin that was on Netflix that I saw. There's been several other ones that didn't get like theater displays, but it's been a pretty big biopic thing. So, yeah, Colin, you seem to know quite a bit about this. So you want to give us the 411
sure.
as it was?
It's really a parody, kind of like Walk Hard was, except with Walk Hard, they made it up completely. With Weird, then they're basing it around Weird Al Yankovic, but it's still a parody and not really fully or at all truthful. It originally was made many years ago on Funny or Die. It was a almost 3-minute long fake trailer that starred Aaron Paul as Weird Al Yankovic. It had a lot of other people in it, which we know that Radcliffe is going to be playing the Aaron Paul, Weird Al Yankovic character. But the hope is that some of the other ones that were in the original will still be there, like and Olivia Wilde playing Madonna, and Madonna and Weird Al have a big love affair, and Patton Oswalt was playing Dr. Demento. So they had lots of stuff in that original clip. So if you have not watched the original Weird the Al Yankovic story clip on YouTube, you can just watch that and then imagine that blown up to being a full movie.
So it was almost. Okay. So you're saying it's almost like the Dora the Explorer movie trailer that College Humor did, where then it got with Ariel Winter, where it finally went so massively popular that they ended up making a real parody Dora the Explorer movie.
Yes, except that the person who made the original video is writing and directing the real one.
Okay.
So it isn't just influenced. I mean, it actually is the same people finally making the movie.
Well, I mean, the College Humor's movie trailer preceded the actual Dora movie by 7 years. So it actually is pretty close to the timeline when we look at years. But and for those of you that haven't seen it, because it was so long ago now, just look up College Humor Dora the Explorer movie trailer, and you'll see there's actually, I think there's like 3 different ones where it was like this, and it was similar to that, where they take a concept and then they blow it out of proportion and you have some fun with it. But yeah, the Weird Al one looks interesting just because, especially our age group, we grew up with Weird Al, and so it's definitely a mockumentary when you look at the original trailer and kind of where they're headed. So they definitely took a lot of creative license with what went on, but it looks interesting. So I think it's going to be one of those where, at the very least, it's worth us looking at.
I will say that the original trailer has one of my least favorite actors in the world playing the father of Weird Al. And so I hope that that particular part does get recast.
Antonio Banderas?
No, Gary Cole.
I
don't like Gary Cole. He's ruining
Gary Cole? Oh, okay.
As long as it's not Gary Coleman, then you're okay.
No.
And I have to apologize. Some of the messages are not coming through here. Mama Blair said 8-man garden flags has a real ring to it, or 8-man auctioneers maybe. No. I have anxiety about being an auctioneer. I really do. Like if stuff doesn't go to a high number, I feel like it's going to be my fault. I'm taking this personally, and I probably shouldn't. Like if you're handing me a bag of crap and you expect me to get $500 from an auction, I'm not going to do it. That's
the last auction.
I don't know what the expectations are.
And charity auctions are so difficult to gauge, right? I mean, any auction is, but charity auctions especially. Like the last one I went to was probably close to 6 years ago, and it was an auction for our local Crime Stoppers, and so we had a lot of donated things. But they were all like good quality things. Like one of them was like a 7-day stay in like a ski resort, right? Like this local company had their like mountain resort, and they were giving away a week stay in it. And they're like, okay, retail price on this is like $5,000 because it was a stay for 8. Well, it sold for like $1,200. It was stupid. It was stupid cheap. And I'm like, damn, had I had at that time my money management skills were horrible, but had I had my credit card to a point, I would have bought it, for $1,500 and then just resold it back out to all my friends and been able to do it. But it was nuts, the kind of the stuff that was selling and for how cheap it was. And that's when we decided we just weren't going to do them anymore because they were so unreliable in making money. I mean, I think we barely broke even that year. So
yeah, and I like I said, I don't even know what they're auctioning off exactly. It's gonna be fun. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. Maybe I could sneakily like live stream some of it. Or maybe I'll give Kim my phone and she can live stream some of it to the PTR page.
Well, at least
We'll
record it and then we can play it back.
Maybe by the time it comes around, they'll actually have somebody that's an auctioneer. You know,
there aren't a whole lot of auctions taking place. At least around here, there aren't. You know, because of everything going on, they're pulling them back. But let's see here. Mike, you brought up earlier the Jeopardy and the woman who is now making history as the most successful woman in Jeopardy.
Oh, okay. So we're going. Okay,
Amy Schneider. Now,
yes.
Now, all right. Maybe this is a male chauvinist view. All right, but like I understand separating men and women for sports competitions, weightlifting, basketball, baseball, etc. You know, that kind of stuff. It makes sense, right? We're built different. We have different capabilities.
I'm going to go so far as to expand that to athletic competitions.
Yeah.
Because we have talked about the male transgender, meaning male to female transgender athlete that was breaking all of these swimming records for women's swimming. And you know, we expressed our opinions about it.
Yeah.
This is a little different.
This is different. This is an intellectual competition, right? This is brain. This is gray matter against gray matter, and we all should be similar there, right? So why are we distinguishing female versus male? Why are we? I don't know. I think we're kind of almost diminishing her role, saying, "Well, she's the best of the females." You know, why do we have to denigrate like that? Why can't we just say, "Well, you know, she didn't get the most out of anybody who's ever been on Jeopardy, but she ranked X in the, you know, why do we have to make a first place designation for her?"
I don't think anybody is anymore. I mean, there was some early, I think, in her run, but at this point, the only person who has won more games than she has is hosting.
Okay, so, that's Ken. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's no.
No, it's not. Sorry, what did you say?
Ken Jennings.
Yes, Ken. Sorry. I thought you said Kat. I was like, Kat.
No.
Yeah, Kat Cora is hosting Jeopardy now. Yeah.
She's not hosting at the moment. So that's why I was confused.
Well, yeah, call me Kat. No. No, Ken Jennings.
Kenny, yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't, like I said, I don't see the need to make that distinction between them when it's an intellectual contest. You know, it's like we don't say, oh, well, they're the number one seeded chess champion. You know, the number we do say that. We don't say they're the number one female chess champion. You know, at least I don't think so. I would never say that because that would be silly. Because why would I even pay attention to chess in the first place? I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
so I see what you're saying. There was a time, especially when the run was first starting, when there was lots of talk of that kind of thing. And I agree. It doesn't matter. Luckily, we are now at the point now where she is now just part of the big four at the top of Jeopardy, and that's all that matters now. Yeah, the only question at this point is Amy going to be appearing later on
all the other game show network games? You know, does she now have a game show network career? So,
I mean, this one, yeah, I get that.
Maybe they're trying to showcase the breaking of a glass ceiling. It was a message that came in.
It would be awesome if, and I don't watch Jeopardy.
No.
I'll be clear about that. So I don't know, but it'd be great if Amy moved into the top 3. So that if they had a tournament of champions or whatever, if they brought back the top 3 winners for a special game, which obviously I don't think they can do since Ken is hosting, but I guess they could. Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I would love that.
I would love it if somebody would beat Ken and make him look humble. That would be fine with me. But I don't care whether it's man, woman, or chicken.
And I have to be honest.
Ken is play again.
What's that?
Ken is never going to play again. We don't have a humble problem with Ken, though. Ken's been pretty. James is the one who needs the giant humble pie.
No, I agree. And now that I'm thinking about it too, Colin, you brought up a good point, and Mama Blair, I think you're kind of alluding to this, maybe, that as I'm looking at it, the link that I shared this story from was from TMZ, and it's very possible that they're focusing on the fact that Amy Schneider is transgender because that's what TMZ does. TMZ picks the flavor of the month when it comes to, or flavor of the week when it comes to headlines, and that's what they focus on. So they don't care about Amy Schneider being in the top. If Amy Schneider was not transgender,
this wouldn't be a story.
I don't think TMZ would be covering it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I really don't think they would. So that, and I guess that's what kind of set something off as to why I put this to the white sheet was, at what point, if gender is non-binary now, and people are disassociating themselves from male and female, at what point do we stop keeping male and female records? Or do we have to have a third category specifically for transgender? Like the swimmer, as a perfect example. Yes, you're competing against other women, but you were born a male. And I'm talking genetically here, so please don't jump down my throat. I'm thinking about it out loud here. You were born a male, so genetically you are at an advantage for athletic competition.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're competing as a female against.
So with my flag in the background here, and we're talking about Olympics, right? So do we need, lack of a better term, straight Olympics, transgender Olympics, and Special Olympics? Do we need 3 Olympics? And if so, who gets the middle one? Does NBC get them, or does it go to FXX? I don't know. Which channel would get that one? Put it on BET. All right.
But what's the Olympics ruling on this? Did the Olympics have a ruling on
I think
transgender athletes? I don't know.
It has to do with a hormone level, right?
But it depends on the particular. Yes, it depends on the particular sport. And so different sports have different rules because different sports have different reasons. So in some sports, it's a years of testosterone thing. So if you've had X years off testosterone, then you can be considered female.
Testosterone level must be below 5 nanomoles per liter for a period of 12 months for an athlete to participate in international women's events between 400 meters and a mile, for example, for the track and field.
And that's because within that range, they decided that muscle mass meant more than geometry. So in other events at other things, I mean, for example, gymnastics, you have a geometry problem there, where it really doesn't matter. You can't get past the fact that different genders have different geometry on the bone structure, and there's nothing, you can't get around that. So,
and I imagine in competitions like that, like the Olympic qualifiers would weed out a lot of that where it's not an advantage. Right. And I guess that's kind of what I was trying to understand was in situations where it would be example, and I keep going back to it because it's a real world example we've talked about. Swimming. So that would be a case where the testosterone measurement would come into play in order for that swimmer to qualify as a female. And I imagine that the U.S. Olympic Committee would say, okay, you would have to have that measurement for 12 months before the Olympic qualifier. This way, you're set before you go to the Olympics.
So
okay.
What's interesting is the NCAA. So the National Collegiate Athletic Association used to require transgender female athletes to have undergone 1 year of testosterone suppression treatment in order to compete in a women's team in any sport. But now new rules say that's changing to a sport-to-sport basis. So let's make it that much more confusing.
Like I said, it's all because of different sports have different reasons for the differences to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Mike is training a cat.
Not training, which is a pain in the ass cat.
Which is it doesn't happen. You don't train cats; they train you. It's the way that it works.
Shut up. Go in your bed. Eat your treats. Leave me alone.
That is.
Now, if we're lucky, she'll go to sleep.
By the way, we didn't go to the bar tonight, but the bar did come to us. So tonight's drink started off with a cider and then went to root beer whiskey with root beer. Because I didn't feel like getting out.
I've been.
Yep, mead for Colin.
Mine was ginger ale and tequila. I kept it simple. I have a new one that I want to try. It's
I didn't feel like getting out the vanilla ice cream and having to try and eat a float while I was on the air. So,
did you ever drink that rum I gave you?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't too bad.
I wanted to try. I have a recipe for it's called Edna's Lunchbox Drink, and it's basically just like a shandy. So it's beer, orange juice with amaretto.
Yeah.
But we had chicken stroganoff for dinner tonight, which was the reason I was late because it was just finishing up and I was eating. And I said, you know what? An orange juice mixed drink probably will not sit too well in my stomach with a cream-based
probably
sauce from dinner. So we went with the old standby of ginger ale and tequila.
Yep. So, speaking of the difference in sexes and treating things with a renewed lens.
Oh, God.
M&M's. Anybody ever think of them as a sexually charged product that needed revamping?
I
have
something to say on this, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I never looked at M&M's as having gender until they introduced the brown M&M with glasses and the heels. They had the two, right? They had
the red
peanut
and the
the
yellow.
plain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were both dudes and they spoke. Okay, great. But then when I never thought about them having gender. All right, M&M's, you brought this on yourself. Now they're going to have sneakers.
Yeah,
okay, that's cool. I have no problem with that.
They thought that so red and yellow, okay, regular and peanut, they were obviously dudes, right? Dark deep voices, Then they have the worrisome, is it the caramel filled? Is that the orange one? I think that's the caramel. Or maybe that's peanut butter. I don't know. Then Mrs. Brown M&M, is that the dark chocolate? I can't tell.
I think that's the brownie.
Brownie or fudge or something. Yeah. So she's got the glasses and the high heels, and then you got the pretzel one's the blue one, right? The crunchy pretzel. I think that's blue. He's another. goofy dude. All right, and then they came out with the mint chocolate one, which is green, and originally also had heels, but now has sneakers. You know, which really makes it easy to differentiate between the other dudes, which all have sneakers. Other than her sneakers are smaller and her lips are different. You know,
well, Green originally had go-go boots.
Okay, go-go boots. All right, I'm fine with that too.
And Mrs. Brown was the newest one. Then they had minis, and they had the pretzel guy.
Okay. Yeah. So here is. Oh, come on. Where's the big image? Oh, damn it! It's a movie. I don't want a movie. I want an image. There it is. Okay. So.
But okay, so while you're looking for that,
yeah.
So here's my thing. I'm looking at this going.
Yeah. So here's a before.
Why is this in the news?
Here's a before. Yep, Mike's right. She's got the go-go boots there, and then now she changed her shoes.
Yeah. So you have this image, which is over. I mean, I've never actually seen the green M&M pose like that.
No.
So in reality, all that's really happened is one M&M got different shoes.
Let me put it this way: I've never
Every single news outlet in the world is talking about this, instead of the fact that we're almost going to war with Russia.
Let me put it this way: I've never slut-shamed chocolate. All right, so I don't know why we need to change her damn shoes.
How to say? I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. But this is one of the biggest PR wins that I've ever seen a candy have.
The other thing that was pointed out, and I just found this out by reading because I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. Brown, her heels actually changed. She went from
yes, she went from pointy
to, like,
there's a better image. So she went from pointy to wedge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody else has
the same shoes.
But they said the personality differences have changed as well.
Your personality don't change because you change your shoes.
Well, no. What they're saying is all of them got slight personality upgrades. Of note, Orange M&M has officially acknowledged his anxiety and learned to embrace his true self. So
now we got a piece of chocolate going to therapy?
That is to identify with people that have mental health issues. This is beyond getting ridiculous. Okay, these are freaking cartoon characters based off of freaking candy, and you don't need to have freaking personalities to appease everybody. All right, chocolate tastes delicious no matter what the personality of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. All they care about is it melts in your mouth and not in your hands. That's why we buy them in the first place.
I just don't think that we needed to do this. We definitely didn't need to do this, and we need an outside opinion. So we need to look at somebody who maybe is new to the country, who maybe hasn't had as much experience with chocolate before. So who do we have on staff that could give us that type of view? Cher. Cher is new to the country, right? No. Mr. Shatheed, maybe.
Chocolate is delicious. This is bullshit. No. This is bullshit. Chocolate is food. Food not have personality. No matter what Bobby Flay and all of those Iron Chef doohickey people say. Food, not personality. Food to eat.
Yeah.
Cartoon, entertain.
chefs have personalities. Everybody know Alex Cornicelli is a bitch. All right, we know that. All right, but the food doesn't have a personality. All right.
Very disappointed that big company like M&M had to make big social media presence thing to make everyone feel la la la. Chocolate love me. Chocolate like me. I only eat orange now because I have anxiety. No. You know Rockstar with Ryder saying must only have green M&Ms. No. All M&M in same bag taste same. Even that gets screwed up now because M&M say, fuck the dumb shit and put all different types in same bag.
Yeah, don't do that.
Lazy. What if peanut allergy can't have peanut M&M?
That's right.
Now big bag, all same. Bullshit.
I agree. We don't need to sympathize with our food. That's what
Mr.
causes
Chite,
vegans.
Don't ever say the word around Mr. Chite again. Mr. Chite would like to know, ask question.
Mm-hmm.
When did it become offensive to people to be strong female?
That's right. Confident in their sexuality.
So if green M&M, female M&M want to wear go-go boots, Mr. Shited see hundreds of middle-aged women on TikTok wear go-go boots. Why this bad thing?
Mm-hmm.
Why must change to sneakers? Mr. Shited confused. Please explain.
And if she's going to change into the sneakers, they should give her a book bag to carry her other shoes in, because we all know that most women walk to work in sneakers and then change into the fancy shoes for the day at work and then switch back.
This is true. Mr. Shited used to work in Manhattan and take what was known as Secretary Ferry, the 4 o'clock ferry back from Manhattan, because secretaries leave early. Secretary Ferry, many girls, women wearing business suits with short skirt and Reeboks.
Yes.
With big bag carrying shoes.
That's right. That's right. Why are none of these people wearing sandals? I don't see an M&M with mucklucks on. Where's the representation of the Eskimo M&Ms?
So, again, not come through. Can I say? Oof. No, what happened there? No. Mama Blair writing saying, personification started with the Raisin brand raisins. Perhaps. No one get offended by Raisin brand being male. California Raisin singing Heard Through the Grapevine, originally sung by black people. No one get offended by this.
Yeah.
No one draw conclusions. Mr. Shithead see it and say, oh, ha, ha, funny. Raisins are black, they sing black song. That's funny.
Yeah, if nobody got
but
if nobody got offended by this image, this personification of raisins, you know,
why must we try to please everyone? We lose individuality by trying to please everyone. It's like opinions be sanitized. And sanitization is the enemy of bullshit. But sometimes bullshit is needed.
Agreed.
If we all have same opinion, world is shit. But most respect other opinions.
You know what I think?
You agree?
I think Smurfette never wore tennis shoes.
The Smurfette wear pants?
No. She wore a dress all the time.
Mr. Shitade wonder why only one female Smurf.
Two. There's two female Smurfs.
Who two? I fight you. Who two?
Yeah, I think there were two.
Yeah, there's the redhead.
The young one.
Yeah.
That was Smurfette, no?
No. Smurfette was a blonde.
Haha, that joke coming from Mama Blair. This funny. Any constipated bull would agree that bullshit is often needed. Do you know sign language for bullshit? I teach you. Go like this.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shastid. As always, we appreciate your opinion on the subject. It's good to get it outside. So, final article before we get to our double feature movie review. A few weeks ago, we talked about the reboot for, reboot, reimagine, whatever you want to call it, for Fresh Prince. And that was coming out. And I've actually seen previews for it now on television. Another show was advertised. Granted, this was a fake advertisement, but it was a very good one on Saturday Night Live. The Urkel reboot.
Yes.
And due to copyright claims, we can't play it. But if you would like to take a look at it, it talks about the dark side of Urkel's life growing up in the city next to the Winslows and how his life wasn't so easy. So if you have a chance, check it out. It's the SNL skit Urkel Reboot.
It is linked in the comment section now.
Yep. And that's pretty much it before we get into this. So maybe we'll hit another thing or two after the double feature movie review.
And let's also point out too, because we talked about we talked about Meatloaf and Bob Saget. Well, no, we didn't talk about Meatloaf. We lost Meatloaf too.
Yeah, we lost Meatloaf
and Louis Anderson.
Yep.
So this year is already off to a we also lost a couple of fashion icons as well. I don't remember their names because, well, look at me. I don't do fashion, but I know we lost them.
Looking at the screen right now, you would be forgiven for thinking that we are the epitome of fashion trends. I mean, 2 T-shirts and a hoodie. I don't see where we're not GQ material, Mike. I mean,
I say that.
I mean, we're walking the catwalk every other week. So, you know.
It happens, dude.
All right. So.
The movies.
The movies. We're going to take you to the
I don't
movies.
know why. I don't know why I'm getting all about it because, you know, half of this was my doing.
Just remember that. Just remember that.
Oh, I remember it. Believe me.
Oh, all right. So, which one are we going to do first? I think we should do. What was the name of it? The Last Shark? Is that what it was called?
Yes.
I think we should
the
do
Ultimo Squalo.
Yes, that. Whatever that is called. Yeah, we should do that first. And, you know, Mike, you get to go last because this is all your fault.
Yeah, it is.
So, all right, Colin, we'll start off with you. The Last Shark.
Last Shark. So this is a movie made in 1981. So it has pieces of. This is a standard Italian B-movie ripoff of whatever they want to rip off from Hollywood. Okay, this is Jaws. They've ripped off stuff from multiple Jaws movies. I think at least Jaws 1 and 2. I don't think they had any 3D. They have like one shark model that if you were to put up the poster from this movie, that's basically the shark model they have. They just keep bringing it up out of the water like this big head. Yeah, it looks like that. And it just kind of keeps coming up out of the water behind people, and then people jump into it so the shark can eat them. It's kind of like so. Imagine you're watching Jaws, but somebody has reorganized the movie so that instead of a sheriff, for example, or is it anyway? Instead of a police guy, he's like a writer, and he's already friends with Quint, and they like join up immediately. So Quint's like there the entire movie. And I decided to watch this movie in Riff Tracks form, which was a very good choice if you enjoy Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks. Do not watch this movie otherwise. I will say this movie could have gotten the puke, except this movie does have one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie, which is the scene of a shark attacking a helicopter. I mean, that was right out of prototypical Sharknado there. So, because of that, I'm just going to give this one, I don't know, what is above puke?
Verp?
Burp.
I'll give it a verp. Just because the helicopter scene's worth it.
All right. All right. First of all, helicopter scene, not worth it. This is a horrendous movie, and even on YouTube for free, it is too expensive. All right. The idea that with this giant killer shark, which shouldn't be in the area because it's the wrong part of the ocean for it, and that you can just put up some netting in a triangle pattern to keep it out of your, I don't know, wake, whatever in the hell it is, sailboard, whatever it is, regatta, which every time I hear the word regatta, I think of the movie One Crazy Summer, and then it never lives up to that. It's just a horrible, never-ending string of nonsense, this movie. All right? I looked at the clock, and I could have sworn that it stopped at one point, and the movie was still going. And the battery was new in the clock. It just, the time drug on forever. If you're on death row, watch this movie, because it will seem like a lifetime. All right? This movie sucks. Big time. And I'm glad I never have to watch it again. This gets a big old puke from me. All right, Mike, tell us what you think of this, your pick. Why can't I hear you?
Because I mute myself when you guys are talking because I don't want to. I'm going to be straight up here, and I'm going to own up to being responsible for putting this on the list. Why? Because when I heard there was a shark movie that makers of Jaws actually sued to keep it from being released in the theaters, and that it was on YouTube for free, squeeze my nipples and call me Milky. 100% we were going to watch this damn movie. All right? Now, unlike every other movie review, I am not pointing out anything here. I will watch the entire movie and then give my comments on it. That's a lie, but we'll see. So they have this party, and this party is like a meeting of the Porn Stash Club, because It reminds me that none of you bastards noticed that last week I was clean shaven for the first time in 2 years. So, yeah. I absolutely love Dollar Store Quint's accent in this movie. And, of course, the mayor is going to go ahead with the regatta. Why wouldn't he, right? Known in the tropics as White Death. I thought Great White don't come down to the tropics ever, my girl. Who's watching the damn buoys? And I thought that was shark-proof netting. Because, that's a thing. I'd love to see that shark go through those nets. Oh, you're going to get your wish now, buddy. I'll bet you a nickel it happens. My money is on Dave to get eaten. Dave was one of the competitors in the regatta. Or maybe it's the red sail. Or is the red sail Dave? I don't know. It's the buoy. And there's the shark. The shark is awesome as hell. I don't care what any of y'all say. That shark was awesome. I don't know what the buoy was doing at the dock in that one scene. That made no sense to me. And the shark, so they go underwater, and the shark starts stacking boulders to trap the divers. So now we've got Jaws 1, we've got Jaws 2, because the shark attacking the helicopter actually happened in Jaws 2, by the way. We've got Deep Blue Sea, because apparently this shark is smart enough to start stacking boulders. We've got Jaws the Revenge, because Great White don't come to these waters ever, my girl. Okay, we're in full-on train wreck watch mode at this point. And Jenny lost a leg, or both legs. She fell in the water. Did she lose? What did she do? Is she alive? She's alive. Okay. Shark pulled the helicopter right down. This is amazing cinematography work right here. This is like Oscar-worthy stuff with the helicopter using practical effects to get the shark to pull the helicopter underwater. That genius right there. And I understand. And this was probably where the scene from The Meg with the helicopter was inspired by. Now we got Walker Texas Wingnut coming in to try and help solve the problem with his special gun that apparently could kill an elephant. But the fish takes the whole damn pier, and Wingnut loses his rifle without even getting a single shot off. So we don't even know what. And producer guy don't give a damn because he's just trying to get an Emmy. Whereas this movie should have gotten an Oscar. No, not really. I was drunk when I watched this, because that's the only way I could get through it. Listen, this is getting a verb. For a free movie, I don't feel like I got ripped off. But I now understand why they keep sued to keep this out of the theaters. Not because they ripped off so many ideas and scenes almost line for line from Jaws. It was to try and keep people from having to sit through this shit. And I make no apologies for putting this on the list. This is payback for the cobbler, you bastards.
All right. Next up is The Old Guard, a 2020
AKA
film.
Redemption Sauce, based off of the last movie.
It's a Netflix film. Go in the same order. Colin, you're up first.
Okay, yes. The Old Guard. Movie about... so here we are, 2021. Yeah, we had the Immortals movie. So this got here first. Okay. Imagine the Immortals from the Highlander aren't trying to kill each other. They're just gathering together to act as a fighting force. They don't know why they're doing it, but they do it. And the movie doesn't really know why they do it either. But that's okay, because I think it's actually part of the plot of the comic book it's based off of. So stars Charlize Theron. The bad guy is Dursley from Harry Potter. A guy who just every time you look at him, his name is Harry Melling. You look at him every time, you're like, if his eyes were any closer to each other, he would be a Cyclops. In fact, maybe his ancestors is what the Greek writers were saying was a Cyclops. They're so close together. Anyway, yeah. Immortals are being chased by one of the things I read on this called the Dursley character a pharmacy bro, which is a good term to describe him. When he's a pharmacy bro chasing immortals because he wants to capture them and turn them into medicine so that he can make money making people not die. At no point is there any evidence anywhere in this movie that them being immortal has anything to do with genetics. So you really kind of left kind of wondering, is there anything there or not? I love other things I've seen with immortals. Like they spend a lot of time getting advanced degrees, so it feels like at least one of them should be like, themselves a scientist. Otherwise, what are you doing with your immortalness? I don't know. I'll tell you how good I found this movie. After I watched it, I went and found all the comic books so I could read them and find out what's going on. There is a character who is trapped in like an Iron Maiden and trapped under the ocean. And so she's continuously drowning and coming back to life and drowning and coming back to life. I would say for all these movies we've watched, that is one of the most horrifying concepts that I think I've seen in any of these movies. I like this a lot. I'm going to give it the SEG.
All right. All right. Next. So I had seen this before it came up on our list, but I was really happy to watch it again. All right. This is one of those movies where you can actually watch it again and still be excited about it. The concept of the movie is not terribly original, as Colin pointed out, but it is neat to see that they're all coming together. And the reason why they're all together is that, one, they're drawn together, by some unknown force. The other is that, they're trying to make the world a better place. And Charlize Theron her character is frustrated that in these thousands of years, or hundreds of years, they haven't been able to make the world a better place. And what you end up, seeing throughout the movie is that they have made the world a better place, but they're so close to it that they don't see it. And that is so true so often for a lot of us, is that we feel frustrated that we don't make a difference, but that's because we're in it. We can't view it from the outside and see the effect that we're having. So I think it's a good narrative to have especially at the end of the show. They definitely set this up for a sequel. Colin kind of already pointed out the most gruesome part of this whole show is kind of how they get rid of one of the characters and therefore set it up for the sequel. Is that Iron Maiden into the sea and dying in rebirth and dying in rebirth. And, freaky, but the whole show is kind of kicked off by the fact of a new one has been, I don't know if it's born, but created, right? So you start off in Afghanistan and the war, and there's a soldier who ends up getting her throat slit but doesn't die. She dies for a little bit, but then she comes back. And then Charlize Theron has to go and get her and bring her into the fold because it's a scary time. You don't know what's going on. They don't want her to get captured by, or taken to a facility and subjected to all kinds of tests and things because they've been through that before. And then you start to learn about the team and how they were assembled and everything. And so it is a nice, good story. But one of the things you'll find out in the story, and this has been out for a while, so I don't care about spoilers too much, is that Charlize Theron, the leader of the group, has now lost her ability to heal. And that is going to play into the sequel, I think, quite significantly. Is she going to get it back? How is she going to adapt to life not being able to heal that she's been doing for hundreds of years? So I think the sequel, it is going to happen. It's in post-production right now, I believe. It's in pre-production right now. But, they, as soon as this one came out, they saw the success with it. They knew that they wanted to do a sequel. They have all the comic book literature to base it from, although they did say that her losing her abilities was a departure from the comic books. And because they said, well, how do we make this relatable? How do we make this so that it engages the audience? Because if you just have immortals, it doesn't really draw someone in, because what's the risk? What's the relationship there? So by having this, piece different, it does help drive the story and get you interested in what's going on. So I thought it was a very good movie. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a shnikes because I think that it belongs there. Like I said, you can watch it over and over again. It's got plenty of action. It's got plenty of character development. Well written, well acted. I think it qualifies for a shnikes in our book. All right, Mike.
All right, so this was also a rewatch for me. I watched it when it first came out. And I remember watching it because, okay, look, Charlize Theron is turning into one of Hollywood's timeless treasures. It's like she's not aging. And I thought maybe watching this movie might give me some insight as to why she's not aging. Right? Also, Charlize Theron as a brunette is bringing me back to the Aeon Flux days, which was also an awesome movie that I think needs to go on the list if we can find it available somewhere. All right, so you ever notice how in these movies the true badass can be identified real quick because they do most of their killing with an edged weapon as opposed to a gun? And I learned that there's actually a tactical reason for this, not just badassery. It's because edged weapons don't run out of bullets. I learned about this in Edge of Tomorrow. Aha. You see this guy? This Chewy Etouffee guy? Number one bullshit guy. Don't ever trust this guy when he is in a movie. He always winds up screwing you over. Well, that's not really true. He was kind of the good guy in 2012. But anyway. You see this CEO guy? The one that Colin thought was like looked like he could be a Cyclops? I thought that this guy looked like Dobby from Harry Potter if Dobby grew up. Somebody gave him a sock, and now he's running a company. The story about the immortal underwater coming back to life. Yes, horrifying, disgustingly disturbing way to die, but I got a problem here. Every time she came back to life, where's the air filling her lungs back up coming from? All right, sorry if I'm nitpicking here, but here's the other dilemma. CEO Pharma Dude is trying to figure out how to, like the whole idea is how to use immortality to put an end to disease. Well, there is a whole big side effect to that.
I don't have an answer for that.
Google doesn't know how to do that.
You know, I muted it, but I changed Alexa's name to Ziggy because I thought maybe it would stop interrupting me more as much, but it's doing it more.
You changed his name to Ziggy and it let you?
There's a male voice pack and it responds to Ziggy as opposed to Alexa. You didn't know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so Anyway, the whole big side effect. They never talk about overpopulation. All right, if you cure all disease and people start living longer and I'm not even talking immortality, people just start living longer, they never discuss the side effect that overpopulation becomes a problem. All right, so this is how I just now decided that this movie takes place in the same universe as Lost in Space because the Robinsons were in a... No, you know what? I can't. There's not enough alcohol left. Let's just... Okay. I'm going to give this one a smile. Actually, no. I gave this a shit-eating grin because the movie didn't try to punch above its weight class. The writing was actually very good. It didn't do anything like that made you go, this is complete ridiculousness. It stayed in its lane. It did. The actors were excellent. the chemistry between everyone, even the bad guys, except Dobby, he can go sit on a freaking stick of dynamite. I don't give a damn. Everyone was good. And I'm glad to see that a sequel is happening. But now, I'm borderline going to offend people by bringing this up. But I got to ask the question. Or maybe I'll just make a statement. Can we have one overweight immortal in one of these damn movies soon, please? Because I started thinking about it. I was like, going back to even, like, let's go back to Highlander. There was no fat immortal in there, right? Everybody's all, either lanky or in good shape or whatever, and, there's no, this one, nope. Every vampire movie known to man. You never saw a fat vampire in Twilight. You want to talk about including people?
I'm looking, and every fat character in Marvel is a bad person. Okay, let's see.
I'm sorry. Am I wrong for pointing this out? Like all of these immortals all have like 6-packs and they got the fucking the veins popping out on their arms while they're fighting. I mean, I don't even get that if I'm having a heart attack.
Fat Thor's as close as we get.
And that's why everybody loved him. That is why everyone loved Thor as a big guy, because finally overweight people were getting represented in the superhero universe.
There is a new comic book superhero named Faith, who is morbidly obese.
And I'm not talking about Blob from
there. That is Faith, who is a big girl.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that down as a note, and I was like, I don't know how to bring this up without sounding insensitive about it, but I guess I'm not being insensitive, or I'm being sensitive because I'm bringing it up. That
oh my God,
DC Comics, all the comics, they're all making a big deal about having gay characters, and transgender characters. So come on now.
Google, are there any overweight superheroes? Here's the answer, Mike. Big Bertha, also known as Ashley Crawford, is an overweight superhero in Marvel Comics, first appearing in West Coast Avengers Volume 2, number 46 in 1989. Big Bertha has the ability to make herself stronger than most and more durable than most. That's her superhero.
All right, okay.
Otherwise, here's the other ones. Night Owl 2 from the Watchmen comic book series, Bouncy Boy, the Fat Fury, Stinger, sidekick of the Brown Hornet, the Blimp, and Woozy Winks. So nobody cool.
No. All right. Well, all right, so I rearranged some stuff here, and we got 1 to 50.
Okay.
Although I don't agree with this because didn't we review go-karts?
Yeah, we did. I didn't.
Okay, why is that still on here?
I don't know. We can take that off.
All right, well, I stop moving stuff. I got the sheet. Stop doing stuff.
I didn't move anything.
No,
okay.
I think I mentioned that to you last time. That I saw that was already on there.
Maybe it was on there twice. I don't know. Okay. All right, so 1 to 49.
48.
48 is... What is this? Still available? It better be. Mixtape on Netflix.
That's a fairly new release.
I would think so. All right, let me copy this over.
In 1999, 12-year-old Beverly discovers a broken mixtape made by her late parents. She sets out to find the songs and learn more about her mom and dad.
Okay. And next.
Number 5.
Number 5. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Okay. This is available on Amazon Prime Video. It's called Thrashin'. I take full credit for this one as well, and I describe it as young Thanos skateboarding.
Thrashin' is a 1986 American skater drama film directed by David Winters and starring Josh Brolin. Features appearances from Tony Alva, Tony Hawk, Christian Hosoi, and Steve Caballero.
Yes, they're all famous skateboarders, but it also has Sherilyn Fenn.
And it was
has
directed
Anthony
together
Kiedis.
with her boyfriend Johnny Depp, who was rejected by the producer.
Robert Russler is in this.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers make an appearance.
Yes, so
the tagline: hot, reckless, and totally insane. This looks like a which came first, Gleaming the Cube or this?
This
came first?
I think
really?
Let me see. Gleaming the Cube was 89. This was 86. Yep.
Gleaming the Cube, I bet, is 100 times better. I'm just taking a wild shot in the dark.
You may be right. This was so. Wait, when did the Goonies come out? That's the other question. You know what? It's going to be just easier for me to go to IMDb and look up
1985.
All right, so this was trying to.
So he's writing on his success as the older brother from the Goonies, and he gets Thrashin'.
Yeah.
He didn't even get like Dream a Little Dream with Corey Feldman. He got Thrashin'.
Well, okay, so let me go. Let's just look up Josh Brolin here. I want to see if there was something between, like, what was after the Goonies? That's the question. So we got to go back down here to 85, 86. The Goonies was his first major role in 85. Thrashin' was his follow-up in 86.
So he was probably shooting Thrashin'
while the Goonies was in theaters. Yeah.
Probably.
So okay.
What? There was a Goonies too?
What? No.
No, it's just been a continuous thing that they've been trying to do.
Oh, okay.
But I think now that somebody died, it's now completely dead.
Corey Feldman says Goonies 2 is still a possibility after Richard Donner's death.
Corey Feldman also thinks that he's still a rock star.
I think most of the other... I think Corey Feldman would be happy to do just about anything. I think everybody else said once Richard Donner died, that was pretty much it.
It's weird. It has an IMDb page. It lists Corey Feldman, Robert Davi, and Cyndi Lauper.
Listen, not for nothing. It's easier to get an IMDb page than it is to get a Wikipedia page at this point, because you got all these Wikipedia Nazis out there that are like, "Oh no, you don't qualify for Wikipedia anymore because you're not famous enough," or what's your accomplishment to the world?
Oh. Disney Plus snags rights to new show about kids who make a shot-for-shot remake of The Goonies. That was just a news article released about a month ago.
That one I'm fine with. You know, they're not trying to remake Goonies. They're having fun. Yeah, it's more like a.
It's a tribute film.
Local, a local stage doing a production of. I don't know.
Alrighty.
West Side Story. There we go.
West Side Story.
All right. Yeah. Talk about a crash.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in, chiming in, and joining us on tonight's show. Don't forget, you can check out PTR Radio at ptrradio.com or all of the social media channels that are out there. Just look for @PTR Radio. You can download our podcast and stay up to date with all of the shows, just go to ptrradio.com and click on the subscribe button. There is not anything going on because it's now. So we won't. Well, Mike's going to maybe be auctioneering here, so we'll learn about that more as it unfolds.
It's going to be in 3 months.
So, so we're going to teach him how to auctioneer. He can get some examples in there, and we can, we'll follow along. In fact, we'll do a little subreddit or sub podcast learning auctioneering with Mike. Stay tuned for that URL coming, maybe during the next show. But other than that, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to spread the word, let everybody know about the show. That's the only way that we gain listeners. But other than that, we're done. If you guys want to call the number 217-787-0232, leave a voicemail for the next show, that's fine with us. Go ahead and do it. And, that's really all that we have for tonight. So with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.